in my life and in the life of my small group. And I pray you guys are getting in small groups. So cool. She says, 2 weeks ago was my first night being a small group leader, and I was terrified. Can you relate to that? During that first night, one of the women, she said, we'll call her Sylvia, revealed that she was separated from her husband of 25 years because he's having an affair. I heard her words and gulped. My soul began to ache, but I was touched by her vulnerability. And the group as a whole, we had an amazing first night. Then she writes, this past Sunday, as I'm sitting in church listening to you so passionately about dropping our mask and being authentic, and that God has actually used murderers and liars and prostitutes and doubters to be the salt and the light of the earth, as you revealed that you personally struggle with insecurity, I heard the Holy Spirit say to me, you need to drop your mask and confess to Sylvia. She writes, I shook it off and I decided that I'd revisit that later. Last night, my small group gathered and Sylvia was engaged, as honest as always, and we were ready to conclude the night, but the Holy Spirit spoke to me again. This time, she says I could not ignore it. I took a deep breath and I turned to Sylvia and said, Sylvia, I've never spoke to anyone here at church, and only a few family members and very close friends know this, but I was involved with a married man for 10 years. And she says, I'm just so sorry. That girl that I used to be is long gone. I don't even recognize her anymore, but I'm just so sorry. She says, I was ready for judgment. And I had envisioned being stoned, but instead Sylvia reached across the table as tears welled up in my eyes, and she held my hands, and she said, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. She then led us in our closing prayer, and she thanked God for me. Wow, I was touched. I thought that was the most amazing thing that could ever happen in this small group, until everybody in my group that night, she writes, had left. Everyone except another woman named Tiffany. Tiffany stood there fidgeting, trying to find ways to help me clean up. When I finally met her eyes, she confessed that she too had been involved with a married man. She began to cry, speaking of the shame she was carrying around, and how her stepfather, who was a Christian, had not been able to forgive her for her sin, even though he himself had cheated on her mother. So here I am, she writes, fully exposed, a party to adultery, and yet God used me to help someone else? Amazing. Lives are being changed because of the courageousness to be authentic and to get real. And she says, it's all because of God's what?
Mercy.
It's mercy. And God says, I want to deliver it to you. And some of you need to know that today, no matter where you've been or what you've done. God says, I just want to meet you right where you are.